Welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
It's good to have you join us once again to talk sports. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman.
All right, this is what the shape of the show is looking like tonight. We'll be talking about the Under-20 World Athletics Championships taking place in Nairobi, where Team Nigeria, no medal today, the 100 meters men and women, it was for Brume, Gutsin Brume, everyone expected a good medal, or maybe a silver, or maybe a bronze medal, but wasn't to be. And Prince Ofoko just narrowly missed out in the medals table, in the medals zone. And of course, we'll be talking about Aisha Buhari's Cup. They're still having so many talking points after the draw ceremony was held in Lagos yesterday. And also, of course, the Tigers. Finally, Austin, we've got a list, right? It's out. And how many days do we have before the tournament starts in Kigali, in Rwanda? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
And it's good that we've got a list, Cecilia. Mixed reactions. So people have been asking me, where are all of those fine boys from the USA that plays in the NBA? You know, how come those guys are not in the list? And I said, guys, calm down. These guys still representing us at the Afrobasket are Nigerians, you know. So I see the positive side of this, that we've got a pool of players who can always, you know, go to for a particular assignment. So I'm glad that roster is out, the D Tigers. I still believe they have unfinished business on the continent. After winning, they got to the finals in Tunisia. So, you know, very close to winning again. So let's see what they can do this time around in Rwanda.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. And of course, in Lagos today, I have Bolu Omoni, a sport journalist, joining me again. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very fine, thank you. Lagos is good, even though we know Austin is having fun where he's at. But just like every other person, we're enjoying the list finally, although we expected some of these guys before now. There were reports of, okay, some of them will play at the Olympics, some... But whatever happens, exactly picking Austin's words, they are Nigerians. Whoever represents us, it's not who this time. It's what they are representing and what exactly are they representing Nigeria, and we are definitely going for gold.
Of course, we're supporting all of them big time. And of course, on the show today, we'll be going to Nairobi in Kenya, Austin, because we'll be having someone to have a comprehensive review of what went down today in Nairobi. Yes, yesterday we all celebrated the gold medal that was won for Nigeria after like 13 years. But today, we can say the same.
Positives, Cecilia. Let's keep the positives. This is an under-20 World Championship, so we can begin to, you know, look at these guys. Look, whenever we participate at the age grade level, I always tell us to take the opportunity to have a peep into the future of Nigeria sports, you know, and that's what I've seen with some of the guys competing right there at the World Championships in Kenya. Yesterday was a good one. Today, but there are lessons. So let's go to Nairobi, Kenya, and join Yemi Olu. She is a sports journalist with Making of Champions. They're doing so good for the development of athletics in Nigeria. Yemi has been monitoring the games, and she joins us now. Yemi, good to have you on Sports Tonight. Yemi, I wish I could hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, I'll wait for you. Okay, good. Now I hear you. Good to have you on the show, Yemi. I know. I wanted to show me some love, and then the audio wanted to cram the style. Yemi, it's good to have you on the show. If we judge by your looks, it wasn't a bad day for Team Nigeria with your looks, Yemi.
Well, I mean, it's a championship, and so even though my focus will be Nigeria, I also have to look at the championships as a whole, you know.
That's right.
So it wasn't a bad day totally. Of course, for Nigeria, it was quite a sober day because we had the men's 100 meters final and women's 100 meters final, where we had a lot of expectations, you know, but it didn't really happen like that. And well, that's what happens at championships anyways. One must also consider the fact that the conditions were very harsh today. It rained for more than an hour, like it was really heavy rain. So, in as much as we'll say, okay, we don't want to make excuses and all of that, but I mean, it's a championship. You pick up whatever lessons you can and move forward. So I'm hoping that the athletes today, both Godson Brume and Praise Ofoko, who competed in the men and women's 100 meters respectively, can now focus on maybe the 4x1 relays, you know, men and women's 4x1. Because, of course, the competition is not over. This is just day 2. Right? We have 3 more days to go, and a lot can happen in 3 days.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, so because the way Cecilia introduced it is the way most persons have been talking to me about it. Yesterday it was awesome. Today it was, but are there positives from today? I mean,
Definitely, because if you look at it, we also have to talk about exposure. Exposure, very, very important. For
right.
Godson Brome, for Praise Ofoko, this is their first global competition, you know. So it's a big deal. And that is why it's always important to expose our athletes so that when they get on the world stage as well, they know what to expect. So now they've competed here, they've seen what it looks like. And I'm not saying that maybe they were scared or anything, but yes, anything can happen at the championship, even for established athletes. It happens. It might just be a bad day at the office. So, but I know that even athletes themselves will learn from what has happened today and move forward from that, you know. And the season for some of them will even still continue. So there's still a lot to look forward to. But even the championships as a whole, I still believe that a lot can happen for Nigeria. Because looking at us winning gold yesterday, it was our first gold in like 13 years at the World Under-20 Championships. And I believe we'll still win more medals, you know. We have events like the women's 400 meters to look up to, women's 200 meters as well. And then even the relays, of course, we always look forward to medals in the relays. So things can still change, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah, before I hand over the baton to Cecilia, I mean, each time I cover events as this, when the team you are following don't do well, you hear those side comments. You'll start, you know, looking for where to put the performance. What are you hearing? What are these young lads saying that we can, you know, pass on to administrators, to officials, so that they can use it to make them better athletes?
I think today, Godson was actually the one who was really crestfallen after his race. So he didn't even want to talk after the race. After he congratulated the winner. At the mix zone, he didn't want to talk. And I mean, it's understandable, you know. And when an athlete is in such a position, you don't push them. You understand? Because, of course, that's their reality, right? He has to deal with that disappointment and all of that. So he didn't really want to talk after the race. But Ofoko spoke a bit. I was not with her, though, when she spoke, but she still seemed okay. And I believe it's something they're both going to learn from.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Ofoku's race was way better than what we saw with Godson. And for Godson, he started slowly, and then all of a sudden, like, he relaxed a bit. He didn't push forward as we could have expected. Was it the occasion that got to him? Because you were there, right there at the Kasarani Stadium.
Well, I wouldn't know for sure until I've spoken to him. But if you look at both Ofoku's race and Godson's race, they both didn't start so well, right?
That's right.
But Ofoko really pushed. Like, she really pushed, even when she saw that she had been left behind, you know, she pushed and she finished in 4th place. If she still had more track to run on, like if there was still like some 10 meters more to run, I'm sure she would have been able to get the bronze. So because it's also very important for an athlete to have that fighting spirit, because a lot can still happen. In as much as we say the 100 meters is a very short race, you must learn that, okay, it's not over until it's over, right? And you could see that in Ofoko. Like, for me, I think that was the difference between both of them. Like, when she saw that, even though she was behind, she pushed, you know, and finished in 4th place. And I think that was the slight difference for both of them. But like I said, the exposure is very important, and it's good that both of them are having this at this point in their career. So hopefully they can only just go up from here.
Hopefully they can go up from here. And as you mentioned earlier, hopefully the administrator would definitely want to ensure that they go for more tournaments so that they get used to stages like this. I believe, because when I watched the race, I just feel maybe stage fright that got to Godson Brome, because I've never seen him like that before, even when he was at the National Sports Festival.
He looked really confident. He looked really confident during the hits and the semis, you know, and that was why everyone felt like, you know, he was going to go for a medal. So it may not be right. Anything can just happen at a competition. Unless we stick with that. I'm sure maybe looking back now in retrospect, you might be able to look at the points. Okay, this is what I could have done better. I could have done this better and all of that, you know. But definitely, he will learn from it.
Okay, let's go to the 400 meters men hurdles. Okay, Austin, go ahead. You were going to ask a question.
Yeah, I was going to quickly, before we get into the men, Cecilia, let's just get done with the ladies. And Mabong in Selko is getting everyone talking, you know. Yeah, I mean, you were with me in Abuja. I remember we spoke to her. She's just a little girl coming out of the Akwa Ibom State Sports Festival. And can you believe in under 2 or 3 years, everyone is talking about her. We watched you saw her run in the mixed relay. You're totally convinced you can go on to win gold in a 400 meters event?
Austin, let me start by saying I know that Ima Bong is one of your favorites. I know you have a soft spot for her.
Yeah.
But
okay, I love them at the grassroots.
But having said that, you know, coming to the World Under 20 Championships, of course, she's the highest ranked in the 400. So yeah, she looks good for gold. We saw her in the heats yesterday. She put up a good race, and then she was spectacular in the mixed 4x4. Yeah. Like I said in my report, I said she was the game changer, you know, in that relay race, receiving the baton in 3rd place and handing it over in 1st place. Like you could just tell that. I mean, she's an asset. She's an asset to Nigeria, and I think, yeah, she looks good. She looks good for gold. It's just that, you know, in a competition, you try to be very cautious. First of all, you don't want to place unnecessary pressure on the athlete. So in as much as you have an idea of what they're capable of, you don't want to put pressure on them. And because you also know that in a competition, anything can also happen, because the way she's preparing is the way other people too have been preparing. But she looks definitely good. She looks very good for a medal. Yeah, for gold, but even if not gold, at least a medal. She looks very good for that.
Interesting. Concerning her, I mean, yeah, Making of Champions tweeted earlier that she has gotten, she has signed with Baylor University, and we know that school produced, we know that school produced Michael Johnson, right? Michael Johnson, 4-time Olympic gold medalist. I mean, he had the record for 200 meters, 400 meters for a long time before it was broken. And of course, Trevor Bromell, who couldn't make the finals of the 100 meters. He was injured, injuries and everything that happened and all that, but he came back and is the 7th fastest man in the world right now. And now she has been signed by that school at a very young age. How will this actually help her in development?
She's not even the only person who has been signed now, because I see that Godson himself has been signed by LSU, which is the school favor affiliate. Yeah, so and I know that a lot more of them are going to transfer to American universities very soon. So if the exposure, like I said, is going to be very good for them. This is just the beginning of exposure. I'm sure by the time they join the schools later on this year, there's going to be a lot of change in terms of facilities, of course. I mean, they're going to be exposed to facilities and many other things. So I expect to see a lot of improvement, you know, in their form. Like you see, Favour Ofili, for example. Favour Ofili already was a world-class talent even before she left Nigeria. But again, being in the US has also put her on another level, you know. So I believe that's just what's going to happen to all of them. You know, for our athletes, we've always said that the talent is not in doubt. It's not in doubt. The only thing Nigerian athletes need is a good structure. They need that structure. They need an enabling environment. They need all of that, you know. And in terms of their education too, for example, everyone realizes, everyone knows how important it is, you know, to get educated. And we know that in the Nigerian system, it's not so smooth for athletes who want to pursue a career in athletics while also combining it with their education. So for these athletes, that is what makes a world of difference for them. You're signed on to a school that is taking care of your education and also your athletics career. And so for them, it's almost seamless, in as much as it could be tough, you know, combining both. But yes, the school understands. It's not a situation where you have to miss exams and then either you go for a competition, you're missing exams, and then you're having a carryover and all of those sort of things, you know. So that is what they're not going to be faced with that. So that's the difference, because here you're marrying both school and athletics together, you know. You can only go forward from there, I believe.
Yeah, interesting. Now, let's leave that aspect and quickly talk about the 400 meters hurdles. I mean, the Ezekiel Nathaniel, we saw him running a very good race, but somehow he finished at 5th, although he got personal best. But Sarah Ochibo, we didn't see her. She did not start. What happened?
I do not know because I've not spoken with her. First of all, I am not sure that she left with the team from Nigeria. I need to make a clarification on that. I'm not sure she left with the team, from Nigeria. So when I saw a DNS, I was like, okay, what could have happened? But I've not gotten to the bottom of that particular situation.
Okay. And tomorrow, what are we looking forward to? I mean, the javelin men's final is tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. The 110 meters hurdles heat also. There's so many races to look forward to tomorrow.
And then, of course, I saw that the javelin thrower as well, Chinecherem, has been signed. Signed by Baylor as well. At this rate, I wonder how many Nigerian athletes will be left at the end of the season. And though it's a bittersweet feeling because you know that Nigeria has so much to give. You look at other countries and you see Nigerian-born athletes there. It's a lot. So on one part, you're happy that these athletes are going to get the exposure. They're going to get good schools, good facilities. But on another hand, you just sort of feel like if only we had all they needed here, they would not need to go out so much. But then we're looking forward to what Chinecherem can do. I'm sure he's looking forward to doing an 80-meter or so. He did 78 meters yesterday. And of course, he's looking like he's very good for a medal. Already, he topped the standings yesterday. And if he can just take that form into the final, I think, the gold medal is sure. And that was even one event we didn't really consider at the beginning of the competition.
Yeah.
We're looking more at the 400, the men's 100, and so on. So it's also good to have these other events where we didn't really used to medal before, seeing that, okay, we're having people competing in such events and actually making the podium.
That would be interesting.
I think it's just 2 days of action that we've seen. And but for you, what's been the major talking point so far as regards covering these World Championships?
What has been the major talking point? Well, I call it the talking point. I think for me, I've been impressed by the level of organization. I mean, there's no competition that does not have hiccups or challenges, but it's great when you see a fellow African country hosting an international competition. And of course, we know that Kenya is huge on athletics. Like, they're really, really crazy about athletics. Unfortunately, the fans cannot come to watch because of COVID, measures that have been put in place. But I mean, the stadium is beautiful. Like, for you to hold a World Championships anyway, I mean, because that the stadium has to be among the best. So seeing this sort of culture, athletics culture, a country like Kenya has, for example, someone like me who is an athletics person, you'd like to see such things replicated in Nigeria. We want to get to a point where it's not just football. We're focusing on that. Nigeria has the potential Nigeria can have the potential in any sport we want to do. We have the population for it. All we just need is a proper structure. So for me, I've just been impressed by the level of organization and everything else that has been happening, the facilities, and the fact that Kenya is very proud about their athletics, what I call them icons. People like David Rudisha, the world record holder in the 800 meters, was here 2 days ago. He's been attending every day anyways. He comes to the stadium. And it's great when you see such people coming to such competitions. Even the younger athletes themselves are inspired. So I'm hoping that someday in Nigeria we can develop this sort of culture, Like, let's not include all the other sports, all the sports where we're doing well. Look, for example, athletics. We've had ambassadors more or less, from this sport, people who have competed, who really did well on the world stage. So we're hoping that, even in other sports, this will be extended to other sports. Yeah, football is there. Athletics, basketball, we're doing so well in many other sports now. So I think we need to make a lot of improvements.
That's the word. That's a good place to leave it. Thank you so much, Yemi, for your time. All the best with Team Nigeria, your coverage. We'll catch up with you some other time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Good night.
Good night. All right, Cecilia.
We need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you updates concerning the Aisha Buhari Cup and also, of course, the D Tigers we have the 12-man roster. I know most of you are not familiar with the names, but then we've got some home-based players, which is a plus for the team. Well, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will open their campaign in the Aisha Buhari Cup Invitational against Morocco, which is going to be at Oniko. That's the update coming from this particular tournament. And most of the games will be played 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. All the games at Oniko will be 4 p.m. And the ones in Agege will be played at 7 p.m. So I think maybe the floodlights maybe the organizers just want people to see the floodlights, how it's going to work. You know, that's why they gave me 7 p.m. Like 7 p.m. That's a bit late, but I think people definitely want to see that because that's where the Group B team will be playing, where you have South Africa, Ghana, and of course you have the other big team: South Africa, Ghana, and Cameroon. Then Group B, then Nigeria. As a relatively good group, you will say, when you have Mali, Morocco. So it's kind of easier than you have in Group B, which is literally the group of death because of these teams, number 2, 3, and 4 in the world, in Africa, and the same team. They have number 1, number 8, and number 9. So kind of a fair draw, you would say.
Anything they like, they should draw. As the Super Falcons of Nigeria against any team in Africa. But again, what has happened in recent years has shown everyone is growing, everyone is stepping up. The fact that the Falcons could not qualify for the Olympics shows a team defeated them. The fact that a team defeated them means some persons are growing. But many have seen negative reasons for the Aisha Buhari giving different. But I think I'm seeing the fact that the Falcons will play. They will compete. Remember, there was a time for over a year they did not play anything. Then now they've gone for 2 different invitationals. Now they'll be playing in Nigeria. It means fans here, we don't know about fans here, but at least you will hear, you feel the vibration that they are here with. And like Dagege talked about, I think they are changing the turf now.
Yes.
We need to test it. You need to see the light and everything. I'm looking at the positives. Falcons will get to play. It will affect their rankings, and now the cohesion will be there. Remember, we have many young players in this squad. So how will they get to synergize with the old guns? It means they have to play regularly. So I think it's definitely going to be an interesting competition. And the fact that they're here, but those of us that will cover it will definitely have fun.
He's already talking about that, Austin. Everybody's anticipating that time.
Yeah, this is a good one. Talking about the Aisha Buhari Cup. Now, everybody, in fact, ABC is trending. Everyone is talking about it. I love it. Cecilia, you were there. You conducted the draw, and there's a question mark on that Super Falcons draw. I wasn't there. You were there. But I know it was transparent. And yeah, I love the fact that this has a theme that everyone is looking forward, to playing for good. So it's a good one. You know my love for women's football. Yeah. I believe that this will get them ready for the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. And of course, I hope that it will not be a one-off. That it's something that will keep going on and on and on and on.
That's what everyone is expecting, and that's why the Super Falcons players are really excited with this. It's the 3rd tournament they will be playing in this year. We've never had it so good since I started following women's football. I don't know if we've actually had the Super Falcons having an opportunity to play 3 invitational tournaments in 1 year. Yes, they missed out of the Olympics, but then the girls are really excited ahead of this tournament.
My name is Azat Oshoala, the captain of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I would like to use this medium to appreciate our fans, everyone that has always been supporting us out there. We really do appreciate and hope you all are keeping safe. I would like to talk about the Aisha Buhari Cup coming up in September. Honestly speaking, we're really excited as a team. As an individual, I am super excited to play in front of our own fans as well. It's been a long, long time. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be entertaining. And it's going to be really fun. And the tournament is also coming in a good time to prepare us for the upcoming qualifiers against Ghana. So it's going to be really, really interesting for us to have this good test because we have most of the powerhouse in Africa coming to participate in this tournament. So I promise it's going to be a great one. You all are going to enjoy it. I also like to use this medium to say special thank you to the First Lady of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Buhari. Thank you so much for looking out for the ladies. We really do appreciate you, and God bless you, ma'am.
My name is Rashida Ajibade, a player for Atletico Madrid and Super Falcons of Nigeria. I want to show my support for the Aisha Buhari Cup coming up next month in Lagos, Nigeria. This tournament is aimed at uplifting and promoting young girls and women in Africa. And I will be very glad to participate in this tournament and be a role model to young girls all over the continent. Special thanks to the organizers of this competition, the First Lady, Dr. Aisha Buhari, for their efforts to develop a foundation of women's football in Africa. Let us all play our part by playing for good. And please, one more thing. Make sure you come out and support us as we go for gold against 5 other talented nations. The future is assured.
Hi, my name is Abiona, Super Falcons player. I'm currently playing in Belarus for Minsk FC. Yeah, I want to say a very big thank you to First Lady of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Buhari, for what she's doing to impact the lives of young ladies and women. Concerning the Aisha Buhari Cup that is coming up September, I'm really excited that we're going to be part of it, and mostly our opponent that we're going to play to qualify for the Nations Cup are going to be part of it as well. So I'm really excited because that will help both teams to prepare well for that qualifiers. And I want to say, being held in our own ground is such a huge feeling, because that will give most Nigerians the opportunity to come and watch us live, and I'm really excited about it.
Excitement, definitely. That's what these players. That's the feeling of these players right now. They're really excited ahead of this tournament. We can't wait for September 13 for it to start.
Yeah, it will definitely get everyone talking, and that's why I want Bolu to jump into the conversation. And Bolu, when you take a look at the teams from other African countries that will be competing at the Aisha Buhari Cup, does it meet your level of expectation? You think it will be competitive?
Well, the fact that the top-ranked teams in Africa are here, in terms of women's football, shows there will definitely be huge competition. And the ladies know what they are coming for. Yes, the money, yes, the fan base, but the fact that everyone knows it's a competition. You are not here to just stroll around. You are definitely here to compete. Every team in Africa wants to beat the Super Falcons. Wherever you are, they want to beat Falcons. So Falcons know what they're expecting. Fortunately, we have the best players in Africa. Anyone can say whatever they want. We have the best players. We have the best goalkeeper. We have the best defender. Sure, we have the greatest African player in the national team right now. So I think it's definitely going to be interesting. We are looking out for, especially the young girls that join the Falcons. We want to see. Many of us have been hearing about the invitation. Not everybody saw their games online, but now we can watch the games. For those that will cover, we can see them play live. We can pick one or two things. We will pick positives, maybe one or two negatives. But for me, I'm looking out for the positives. It's definitely going to be an interesting. I'm expecting an interesting tournament. The Unicon Stadium is ready. The Agege Stadium will be ready, because I saw pictures of the laying of the new turf. Come on. We will definitely have fun in this event. I will definitely have fun. Let me put it that way.
Awesome, beautiful, beautiful. I love the level of publicity that is being given to this competition. And Cecilia, this is what we've always been talking about. Bring it to that level where there's not much difference between men's football and women's football. I think we're making progress.
Obviously, I mean, we're seeing it. As I mentioned earlier, if you check what the Nigerian Football Federation, they've been able to do this year for the girls. Yes, they did not go to the Olympics. We're all heartbroken what happened, in 2019. But at the end of the day, we're happy now because we've seen that, yes, they did not go for the Olympics. Yes, the Alcon was cancelled and postponed to next year. But we've seen that these girls, they've been busy. That's what we're afraid of, because there was a time for 1 year they did not play any football. But now you're seeing them playing regularly. And this is, Onomembi actually mentioned that this is another Nations Cup. You're having 6 best nations, the top 10 in Africa. And 6 of the top 10 in Africa will be gathering in Lagos, in Nigeria, for this tournament. So this is how big it is. And remember, the qualifiers will start in October. So that also will also serve as, a kind of preparations for these women to prepare for that qualifier. So which is really huge for me. And all of us are excited and looking forward to the tournament to start September 13.
I could tell, because you always have that debate with me. What to do for the men, do it for the women.
Yeah,
I'm super excited now that with this competition now, you guys will just chill. I've been getting reactions as regards Nigeria's group in the Aisha Buhari Cup. So let's get more reactions as regards Nigeria playing in Group A at that competition. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
For us, it's just a preparation. We really didn't care which team we met. We just want to prepare our team for the Nations Cup that's coming on. So whether it was Bali or Ghana or whoever it is, it really didn't matter to us. We just wanted to do this so that everybody, the whole world can see that in picking the draws, we have been fair. That's it. So we're quite happy. Well, the NFF is, don't forget that here I'm LOC, I'm not NFF here. But, you know, we've prepared our team, and you can see that in recent years, we've prepared the women's team a lot better than ever before. They've just come back from one tournament in Turkey and another in America. So this is a third one for them. They've been to Austria to camp. So, you know, we hope that they will come out on top.
It's okay. We'll take any group as it comes. The team has already prepared for it. We just came back from US and Austria. And we have new players, young players that are ready to play in the team. So I think any of them that comes our way, will crush them. But at the end of the day, I know we're going to come out triumphantly. I think the graph has risen. So playing Mali, playing Morocco, it's not they're not new, but not that we're going to just leave them, but we're going to take them as they come. Everybody wants to beat Nigeria, you know. So when they're playing us, they want to play more than, but we are going to break their shells, get what we want, and at the end of the day, we'll lift the cup up.
They are our normal opponents. We are not scared of anyone. We have been playing against all these teams at the highest stage in Africa, and we know that we stand a good chance of topping the group and even winning the competition.
So that's it. More and more reactions coming from Nigeria's opponents at the Aisha Buhari Cup. Cecilia, I want to stay with Anchi Ejine. She sounded so confident, former player, now assistant coach. I know Morocco and Mali does not pose any threat, but this is a good window for us to also take another closer look at South Africa, Ghana, and Cameroon, because they're beginning to catch up.
Excellently. I mean, not just Cameroon, Ghana, but we're talking about Morocco. For Morocco, instance, the way they've developed women's football in the last 5 years, you need to look at their program. So I'm even afraid of them because they're more like the dark horse right now. We've not really seen them big at the international stage, but this country, they've been working so hard to develop women's football. So do not write them off. So Falcons will need to be aware of what these ladies can really do. I'm talking about the Moroccan team. The good thing is we are facing them first. So we'll just have to prepare for every team as if they are the best in the world, not just in Africa. That's the only way, so that complacency will not set in. I will not underrate any team. And at the end of the day, we'll get stunned. Yeah, Equatorial Guinea, I can still remember what happened. I mean, okay. So let's leave that, Austin, and move on to the D Tigers. We've been waiting for the roster. We'll be like asking questions. Yeah. When are we going to see it? I mean, then the story that broke out was, oh, we're not going to be having one of the coaches, Alex Warner will not be part of the squad. And then the NBBF president came out to say, you know what, he's going to be coming anytime he has time, simply because he's got commitment to, you know, the school, the college. But then there you have the list released by the coach, Mike Brown. Now, if you look at these names and where they play, you'll be like, where are these guys from? Yes, they are Nigerian players across the globe. So Mike Brown was able to gather these players together, since we're not going to be having the Olympians and also those who could not make it to the Olympics to play here. Daniel Utomi is part of that squad. You also have the likes of Ikena Undugba, Emmanuel Omongbo is also there. Benjamin Emengolu is also part of the squad. TK Edoji is there. Steven Domingo is also there. Play for G League in the US. Jordan Ogudiron is also there. Jeremiah Modi is also part of the squad. But then you also have players who are playing in Nigeria. This is where I'm happy. But the good news is Ikechukwu Benjamin was awesome when he played at the Basketball African League. And of course, Coco Victor Anthony also for Rivers Hoopers. One for Joseph, another top player. And Agu Aguchi for Gombe Bulls was actually with an Ivorian team during the Basketball Africa League. Now, you see why we actually need to develop our basketball and have a functioning league. And you're looking at names, we're not familiar with them. If we didn't watch the Rivers Hoopers playing at Basketball African League, we would know these players simply because you're just bringing in players we're not used to. And now the tournament is starting next week, right? 24th, the same day we are going to be having the Paralympics, right? And Nigeria's first game, it's going to be on Wednesday. That's against Mali.
Well, like you rightly said, Unfortunately, we should be having these events because our NBA players won't be around. We should probably have Nigeria Premier League players or Premiership players playing this competition. But again, still no league for over 3 years. And thankfully, Rivers Hoopers played at the Africa League. So at least, no matter how bad, you're still fresh. And definitely they're practicing on their own. I think this is another wake-up call for those in charge. Settle your whatever. Don't let it affect these players because they're the ones suffering for over 3 years. It's
looking for
it's
sponsor
sad.
to start the league.
They'll find a way to sort it out. But again, the guys are representing. It shows like they say, if some persons are not available, if you have others, it's another chance for them to pose threats to those guys in the NBA. If these guys come here, do well, and probably end up winning this Afro basket, it means they are sending a wake-up call to the guys in the NBA. Whatever you can do, you can do better and even do much more. But I think whoever represents Nigeria in the basketball should be good enough for Mike Brown to select them. It means he has probably sent out his scouts. He has seen maybe one or two of them, if not all of them. He knows what he's selecting. Apparently, he would have the best Nigerians available to him. So wish them all the best when the competition starts next week.
Austin, we're smiling when I was reading out the names and you were wondering who are these players that we're not really familiar with. Yeah.
No. Yeah, Cecilia, I'm a sports journalist, so I've been doing a lot of research, so I know. Let me give it to Bolu, who is our guest analyst. Bolu, how much of a dirty slap does this land on the face of MBBF that they need to develop the Nigeria League?
I'm trying to think of how big the slap could be. Maybe a sledgehammer or something, and it's terrible, it's bad. The fact that the way we gathered the team to Rivers Hoopers to play at the basketball league is poor. The fact that now we don't know, we have to go to Apple, go to Cyprus, scout the whole world, go to Afghanistan to get the representative, shows how bad it is. And again, like I said, there are more than 3. I think it should be up to 4 years now, no basketball premiership. And you can't expect them to go to the lower league to pick players to represent in Nigeria. It's like going to championship in England to pick the national team for England. No, they pick their players from the Premier League. Unfortunately, we don't have. I hope they are listening. That's the sad part. Everybody knows what to do. Unfortunately, we just say these things and many of them feel they can't do anything. People have to answer the right call. They need to do the right things. Some guys are just chilling at home doing nothing. And some of them would rather go and play in the lower league and be active and get paid than to just sit down and wait on the Premiership. Now, even when the Premiership starts, fatigue is part of the mentality to compete is not even there anymore. Now, we have the opportunity to play our players because NBA players are not available. But unfortunately, we have to do a world tour to get players to represent Nigeria.
I love that word, a world tour. Go across the globe and pick players and come. You know, the problem now is we don't even have time. Yes, camp was open this week. No matter what anyone is going to tell me, when did the Olympics finish? Camp was open this week. And now you're playing Afro basket. You have big nation. Well, yes, Côte d'Ivoire pool, like, okay, maybe Côte d'Ivoire, Mali. But then these African countries are not playing. These guys are preparing for a very long time. We saw Basketball African League. We saw the Tunisian side, who literally, a club side, make up the national team for Tunisia. We've seen that. And then you're asking yourself, yes, maybe this is an appeal to those guys who actually put up big money for the D Tigers going into the Olympics after they beat USA and, of course, Argentina. They put so much money on the D Tigers. That's the elite basketball level. Maybe it's time for these people to actually support the league. I mean, because MVF is looking for money. That's the excuse they're giving for not starting the league. So maybe these guys need to maybe sponsor the league so that we can have an elite basketball league in Nigeria. And if we have that, now, the coach of Rivers Hoopers, Ogo Daudu, has been drafted to be one of the assistant coaches. Now, imagine having that, and we have a league in Nigeria. You can scout, this mentioned, you can scout the whole world and be looking for players that will come play for you. You already have a ready-made league. You just go there and pick. It's just 12 players. 12, Austin, 12.
So, Cecilia, what this means is that our expectations are already lowered.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem because Bolu, if you check the last 2 tournaments, they won one and then finished the other in the final where they got silver. You want to sustain the momentum. With this sort of team, I know they're professionals. We will root for them as Nigerians. But do you see a winning team in this sort of horridly packed together team?
Well, you talked about progression. Let's bring in football. General, Nigeria finished 3rd at the last AFCON, and General said if we could finish 3rd, our aim is to get to at least the final. That's progression. Yeah, we've gone to the final the last 2 times. Won one, then came 2nd. Cecilia talked about horridly set up team. no matter how good you are as professionals, you need synergy. If you bring out guys, if we bring the old squad in a short period of time, you can say, okay, they've been playing together for a while, like football. But this time around, these guys, some of them have probably never heard themselves before. They've never seen each other before. The ego will be there. The fact that they want to do better than this boy. Then we come together, we have to play as a team. Before now, I was probably thinking we are going back to winning this gold medal. But as it stands, I think let's do what we did with football last time. If we get to semi-final, it will be a big victory. And don't forget, only one team is qualifying directly to the quarter-final. Second and third will have to fight for quarter-final. That is probably harder than qualifying directly. So it's definitely going to be a tough one. But let's see what happens from their first game. From there, we can start building our hope. Okay, will there be hope or not?
But right now there are worries, and I hope that the MBBF will sit down, check it that they need to be united for them to be progressive. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, football will get our attention, so don't go anywhere. Stay.
All right, let's quickly go to countries have started announcing the World Cup qualifiers squad. South Africa is actually one of them. They've released about 31-man list for the games. They will, of course, the group, it's a very difficult group because the teams they're playing against have already qualified for the World, have qualified for the Nations Cup. Of course, South Africa, well, they're not going to the Nations Cup. Yeah, I'm not proud about that, but that's what it is. But right now, the coach Hugo Broos has named his team ahead of that. They are highly anticipated World Cup qualifiers. They will be playing against Zimbabwe. Of course, Ghana is also in that group. Remember Zimbabwe, they're going to the Nations Cup. Interesting, right? Yeah, Ghana also, of course, they made that. So the coach has been talking about the World Cup qualifiers, and he said the team must qualify for the World Cup after missing out of the Nations Cup. Let's take a listen to him, of course, Austin. And, well, Bolu, we have to react to this. Nigeria still don't have a squad yet. We're waiting.
Warm greetings.
She's going to be.
We have 3 opponents who are qualified for AFCON next year. That it could happen that we are not qualified for this World Cup, but you can be sure that we will do everything with my team and also the players to be qualified, because who don't want to go to the World Cup? This is really one of the highlights of a career. I was so lucky to be once on a World Cup, and for a player, but also for a country and also for the technical the technical side of a team, it's a highlight. So you can be sure that we will do everything to be in Qatar next year. But if we don't, I think those games will be a fantastic experience for the players, and that we will be more ready to qualify for AFCON in 2023.
I love the fact that he's not ruling out if. I mean, there's some coaches who can be truthful. You look at what you have. If you take a look at the list, I love the fact that they have most of their players playing at home in the PSL. Other ones that have been invited. You just have few foreign-based players who play in Portugal, Israel. I think that's what Portugal and Israel, they're basically, and TS Galaxy, okay, another team. But if you look at that squad, okay, there's also one in England. Pasitao. Okay, yeah, Pasitao plays in England. Brighton. Yeah, that's another player you look at. You're like, okay, you look at these players, and then you look at the others. He knows what he's got, and he's going to work with what he has. That's why he's saying that, look, hey, in case we don't qualify for the World Cup, what has been an opportunity to qualify for the next Nations Cup? That's not much expectations, because he knows the players that he's working with.
South Africa was unfortunate to miss out of the last AFCON, but that's a big wake-up call for them, you know, particularly when they lost to Sudan. You know, I know it hurt so bad, you know, so Hugo Broos understands that, look, For us not to miss out of Canada 2022, we must get ready for the challenge. We must start now. Everybody must understand the mission. And that, let me just go to Bolu now, because if you look at African football, the new talk is that there are no minnows. So irrespective of who they're meeting, they must have that winning mentality. Otherwise, it's going to be same old same, because if they cannot get out of a group that had Sudan, then it's more problem for them.
Well, back in the gone are the days where only West African side are the ones that play like the same local balance jam body. Everybody does the same thing now. Even Algeria, the African champions, despite that beautiful play, they say added muscle to their side. It means everyone knows African terrain is, no matter how technical you are up there, no matter how skillful your game is, you need to be strong and very, very fit. And that's what we are saying in Africa. It means everybody does the same thing. I like that I gave the option of, okay, in case, because you are 4 in a group, 3 of them are qualified for AFCON. And now you are facing those opponents for the World Cup qualifiers. A tough task for him. So he has to, but Rush should not give us option. We don't want option. We must qualify for the World Cup. Although I tell people I'm scared for the qualifiers, not for the groupings, but for the next phase where you can play anybody, no sin. But for South Africa, I like their truth. I like that they have a working league. And that's the reason why they can play probably about 90% of their players from the league without the fear of we are definitely going to lose. This is another wake-up call for everyone. So good one for South Africa. I wish them all the best.
Yeah.
All the best.
Yeah.
Bolu, want to thank you so... Okay.
Yeah.
Bolu, want to thank you so much for... We need to leave the studio right now. I want to thank you so much for coming on the program once again. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a great night rest.
Cecilia, I was going to cue you. We needed to talk about soccer, but sadly there is no time. But we'll do it again some other time. Thank you so much for joining us in London. I'm Austin Okonakwan, and everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.